So it's 4th of July and all that awesome stuff. Totally, guys. Not like America is in the worst state it's ever been in. Totally not. But yeah, since the big beautiful bill got passed, guess who's not going to be able to eat at school? Me and many of millions of kids who have worse and less fortunate lives than I do. Yeah, I told my friend about it, and she's like, I can always bring an extra lunch for you. And I was like, I don't even know what's going on. So if that does eventually end up happening, then that would be amazing. And she's like, yes, of course, don't worry about it. So the thing is, at school, if you don't have reduced or free lunch, then it's $7 for breakfast and lunch. So 7 times 180 is around $800. And then my dad has to pay for 5 kids to have that. So it's $4,000 every single year until all of us eventually get out of school, which will be a while. And that's just not going to happen because we were so down bad in financial situations that my older siblings got paid to go to college, $3,000 each semester, and if they were running low, then they would get a little bit of extra money. So I don't know, it's just not going to work out good. And also Medicare or insurance or whatever it's called is being taken away, so we can't go to the doctors because that's what we use to pay for our medical stuff. And I really only go to the doctors for routine checkups and vaccinations. But still, that's gonna cost a lot of money coming out of pocket. So I'm cooked. And I have a dentist appointment soon. And I don't think I have any cavities, but still, even just getting them clean costs a lot of money. Which is so dumb. So freaking, I cannot handle this stuff. And I hate whenever people say kids shouldn't be involved in politics, because it's literally all about us. It's our future that you're ruining if you decide to get into politics without having a good head on your shoulders. And I want to be up there and debate Charlie Kirk because I would cook him. He's like, why are you, a man, arguing about what I should go through whenever it comes to my healthcare? If I decide that I don't want a baby, if I get raped or sexually assaulted, and that's what is a product of it, then I should have every right to go and not have that baby. I'm Christian and I think this. It's not about, I know it says thou shalt not murder, but it's not murder because they don't even conceive their brain until later on in the pregnancy. They're not even the size of a mustard seed for those first few weeks. There's no way that could pass. And if everything happens for a reason, then I think the abortions happen for a reason. The reason I don't want to be able to take care of a child at 13 years old or however old I am whenever that happens. So if I come across those people on the internet, I always ask, hey, I have a question for you. If your 10-year-old daughter got raped, would you make her carry it to term? Or would all of a sudden it would change because it's happening to you and not the millions of women across America? Anyone else think crazy? Anything that is found in the uterus that can be removed or anything like that is considered an abortion whenever it's not even living. It can be a tumor and it's considered an abortion. I seriously don't think that all the men in office should be overturning Roe v. Wade because they don't like the idea that women don't want to carry children for them, even though we're in the worst economic state ever. So it's just not financially responsible for the country or anyone else in these places to have kids. It's just so stupid. Get a woman in office and she'll be like, yeah, get an abortion if you want to. It's not that big of a deal. It's your choice, not mine. These men think everything is about them. Everything is a personal offense to them, even though it has nothing to do with them. And I also don't think men should be gynecologists either, because I heard that a woman has to be in the office if there's going to be any anesthesia dealt to a woman, because sexual assault is just such a common thing nowadays if the woman can't consent. It's so dumb. And I can't believe they kept a woman alive after she should be dead, just because she had a baby and she should carry it to term. That's probably going to ruin the baby's life, not only in their health standards, but also in mental and physical and emotional, all of that stuff, because they're going to find out the stories of their mom because it was genuinely one of the worst things to happen. like, you can't just not tell a kid what happens to their mom. Like, hey, why don't I have a mom? Why do I only have a dad? Or whatever's happening in this family situation. And they're gonna be like, oh yeah, Georgia made your mom stay alive through all these treatments just so she could give birth to you even though she was dead. Like, that's so dumb, and that's going to completely ruin the kid. I just can't handle it. And then also the fact that P. Diddy doesn't get what he deserves in court. No one does. None of the rapists do. They either get told, oh yeah, that woman that you totally raped and sexually assaulted and ruined her life was just lying, even though we have the rape kits and all the signs that you did it. Yeah, so just go on and live your life normally, while this woman is never going to recover. Yeah, that makes total and perfect sense. So dumb. And even if 1 or 2 women lied, why does that have to account for the millions of women across the world? There are kids in Guatemala or wherever it is who are having to give birth at 5, 7, 10, 11 because they can't get abortions. That's not right. If a kid is having to give birth to another kid before they can even mature or even have their period, for starters, then what is going on? It's just such a cruel world for women, and I can't stand it. Especially with a rapist in office right now. It's so dumb. So, literally the entirety of America is being ruined because all these stupid people think that money is the most important thing to them, and not the fact that millions of lives are being ruined every single day because of this person. No one is illegal on stolen land, and I firmly believe that. Especially because, like, I don't think everyone who lives in America is a bad person, obviously. But the first people that did come to America definitely were. They were awful and cruel people. And I don't think it's fair that we get to decide who lives here and who doesn't, especially whenever the basis of America was escaping cruel societies who, like, had control over us and religion and whatever all that is. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. They really need to let me in office. I would be an amazing president because I have basic human empathy and I don't struggle with not throwing up a Nazi freaking salute. It's not that hard to have basic human empathy and say, hey, everyone deserves kindness and love and respect. Unless you do something totally disgusting where you are invading someone's personal right and personal respect. That is simply not okay. And I would make that very clear in every single rally I went to. I would voice my opinion, and I know I would have a lot of votes, and I know I would have a lot of death threats, because there's so many stupid people in America who don't think that's right. They think, oh, just because you're not me, you're not white and old and privileged like I am, then you're a disgusting person who deserves nothing. And that's not the right mindset to have, especially whenever they use their religion to back that up. The religion being Christianity, where the entire thing is to love and respect your neighbor, to feed the hungry, and to give drinks to the thirsty. It's not. It's not that you're better than anyone because you believe in a God or a Jesus Christ, because I don't think I'm better than anyone, and I believe in those things. Like, I do believe I'm better than some people, but only the people who I'm very mad at right now, the MAGA people. I wrote a little poem about it, and I got so much hate, saying, these people are disgusting people, you don't need to be advocating for them and their rights. There's millions of gangs and gangsters and mobsters and all these things that are coming from quote-unquote illegals. No one is illegal, even if they don't come in the right way. That's so stupid. There is no right way. It's a country. It's all made up. So, my gosh. Yeah, so I'm very mad about that right now, because I'm probably not going to eat for the entire school year, because sometimes I don't have food in my fridge for weeks at a time, and now apparently I'm not going to have breakfast or lunch at school, so yeah. also, it's so, my future is ruined. I don't want to go and be a CEO or doctor or any of that stuff, because I know I can't do it. But if the things I know I can do are going to be overtook by AI, or it's just going to be so niche and like underfunded and stuff, that's not going to be like able to happen. I want to be an ornithologist, which is a bird doctor or bird professor, someone who studies birds, and at this point birds are going to be extinct by the time I grow up to be able to do that. Or I want to be an F1 media manager. Well, that's going to be taken over by AI, because of course they're more sentient than humans. Of course they can understand all these things that these drivers go through, all the stress that is in their head. And of course they're going to be able to write just such amazing essays with such false and no backup to the information that they're giving in the essay. Of course, right? No, it's so dumb. Also, I've heard, if history doesn't make you mad, then you're not learning the right history. I know if we even have people in the future living in America or wherever, because the world is just ending for everyone right now, kids across the world are going to be so mad learning what their countries have done or what's happened to them. And then they're going to realize how mad people like me are because it happened to them. And they're just going to blame everyone. They're not going to realize this stuff. Especially if they're going to be raised in the same way that everyone else is right now. Or maybe they won't be mad. Maybe they will think, oh yeah, that totally deserved to happen to them, because they were not blah 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 blah, or they were this blah 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 blah. I'm so scared for what's gonna happen, bro. And I've prayed every single night, wishing it wouldn't happen, to get Trump out of office some way, somehow. But it's not happening anytime soon. So done with everything.